live, Laura. Yep, I'm muted. Good. Sorry about the muting. I am off mute now. This is Morton, and Caesar's now behind the net. Shot blocked by Streeter. And this is going to get covered up by Streeter for each play. All right, as we get moving again here, we're going to have Bowman out there with Flanagan, Palucci, Hewer, Kazarowski. 12:55 on the clock. Puck is down, one down into the Bell Tire corner, picked up by Caitlin Flanagan. Now Hewer stepping in to help. Hewer moving it up the wall. Caesars at the half wall, walking around. Shot in, blocked by Connie, and picked up by Palucci. Palucci gaining neutral. And turned back around, sent down deep into the Bell Tire zone. It's going to be down for an icing. Laura, she's waving at you. All right, this is going to be a face-off down in the Caesars zone. One down. Caesars with possession. This is going to be defended by Martin. Picked up at the wall by Flanagan, sending it across to Markovich. Markovich moving it ahead to Dobbs. Dobbs getting it. And that's Markovich, sorry, jumping it deep into the zone. 12:08 on the clock. Caesars with possession in their own zone. Moving it ahead, that's going to be down for an icing. $11:59 on the clock. Evans with possession here, or Evans on the draw, rather. Puck is down, picked free by Clemens. Puck is still in the dot somewhere. Finally picked free by Cruciano. Cruciano behind the Caesars net, now picked up by Clemens. Clemens hits the brakes in the corner. Redirects, picked up, sent back to Martin. Martin going across to Flanagan. Flanagan shot in, gets redirected wide of the net. Picked up by Clemens. Clemens back to Martin. Martin sending it in. Caesars coming up through neutral, gaining the zone. Picked off in the corner by Martin. Sent down by Evans. Evans up to the half wall, picked up by Palucci. Palucci going back the other way, off the backboard over to Martin. Martin with possession, going wide, finding Hewer. Hewer chipping it in, intercepted by Caesars in neutral. Picked off by Martin. Martin moving it ahead. Martin trying to move it through, and Hewer helps to get it into the Caesar zone. Turned off the boards. Picked up now by Martin. Now this is going to be played by Morton. Shot in, goes wide of the net. Picked up to the point by Caesars, going down. And now into the corner. Chased down by Martin. Picked up by Morton. Morton sending it wide off the half wall. Picked up by Palucci. Palucci backhand, gets intercepted by Caesars. Caesars walking in, takes a shot off the side of the net. Picked up by Kazarowski. Kazarowski. And Hewer now. Hewer with Palucci. Hewer gaining the zone, sending it across to Palucci. Chipped in on ice is Caitlin Flanagan, Agbe, Markovich, Dobbs, Morton. All right, Bell Tire going to go on to a power play here. So Bell Tire is going to, looks like, pull their goalie. 10 minutes. Going to go up 6 skaters here. All right, Bell Tire is going to go out with 6. Dobbs, Agbay, Markovich, McKenzie, Flanagan, Clemens, Martin on ice. Need to control this puck. That puck is down, up to Markovich. Markovich to Flanagan. Flanagan's going to send it down for Dobbs. That's going to be sent down, picked up by Flanagan. That's going to be moved down into the Bell Tire zone where it's picked up by Flanagan. Flanagan with possession, turning up ice. Flanagan moving it to Markovich. Markovich gonna get it deep. That's gonna be sent back, and it's gonna be picked up by Martin. Martin turning. Martin moving up ice. Martin going. Martin gaining the zone, turning in, and that's gonna get sent back down wide in a chase with Flanagan. Flanagan moving it around the boards, picking it up for Markovich. Markovich going up to Dobbs. Picked up by Martin. Going to send back down deep where it's picked up by Evans. Evans going across to Hewer. Hewer dumping it deep. Kazarowski up at the point. And Evans at the half wall. Blocked by Caitlin Flanagan. Flanagan across to Martin. Martin looking up ice. Moving it ahead for Kazarowski. Chipped off. Kazarowski now with a little bit of a break. Kazarowski going to go deep behind the Caesars net. Picked up by Hewer. Hewer to Palucci. Palucci to Caitlin. Caitlin to Palucci. Palucci down and turned inside. Picked up by McKenzie. McKenzie down to Evans. Evans behind looking for Hewer. Going up to the half wall where it's picked up by McKenzie Flanagan. Now Caesars with possession. They're going to send it in, and that's going to go wide of the net. 10 seconds remaining here. Up the wall, Kazarowski. And Streeter going back in net. As penalty time cleared, we were off the wall. Going to go up, and Bell Tire's got a little bit of a collision here where Caitlin Flanagan's going to get possession behind the Bell Tire net. Working her way around, sending it up ice. That is going to go wide of the net and be down for an icing. 7:44 on the clock. All right, on ice, we've got Markovich, Agbay, Dobbs, Morton, Morton moving it up into neutral. Shifting ahead, Morton in the corner. Picked up by Agbay. Agbay sending it back down for Morton. Agbay trying to pick it free, sending it around for Dobbs. Moving it up the wall for Caesars. Martin stepping in, getting a stick on it, goes wide. And picked up by Morton. Morton going off the boards. Collected in by Caesars. Sent down low. This is going to be chased down by Martin. Down into the corner. Martin coming free. Martin moving off the boards. Backhand up to the half wall. Picked up now by, Evans. Sent ahead now, Martin down into the corner. Coming up through. Goes wide of the net, shot by Caesars. Picked up by Martin. Martin moving up ice. Martin going across, finding Cruciano. And now we've got Mackenzie Flanagan up to Cruciano. Hewer, Clemens out on ice for Beltire with Bowman. Sent down deep into the Caesar zone. Picked up by Hewer behind the net. We're going to have a whistle to freeze play. Can you open it? All right, empty net for Beltire. Flanagan, Skazarowski, Hewer, Palucci, Clemens on ice for Beltire. Back for McKenzie. Shot in. Down deep, picked up by Palucci. Palucci moving it up the wall. This is going to be picked up by McKenzie. McKenzie's going to send it back down deep. Kazarowski's going to pick it up behind the Caesars net. Caesars going to move it up ahead. Going to take a shot here. Going to be wide and go for an icing. Evans, Dobbs, Agbe, Markovich, and the Flanagans on ice for Beltire. .5:42 on the clock. Puck is down, one back. Caitlin Flanagan over to McKenzie. McKenzie chipping it ahead. Shifted ahead, picked up by McKenzie. Now picked up by Agbe. Centering pass, missed the mark. Picked up by Caesars. They're going to send it in, and that's going to find its way to an empty net. Put them up to 4. All right. Cruciano, Evans, Clemens on ice for Beltire with Martin and Bowman. Caesars with possession down in their own zone. Up to neutral. Sent down deep into the Beltire zone behind their net. Chased down by Bowman. Evans down into the corner. Up the wall. Picked up by Clemens. Clemens going to chip it ahead and go to work here. Down behind the net is Cruciano. Picked up by Martin. Martin centering pass. Picked up by Hewer. Down behind the Caesars net. This is going to be played out. Martin keeping it in. Hewer with possession. Hewer's shot. Going to get blocked. Trying to chip it ahead, and that's going to get picked aside by Caesars. Cruciano up to the point here for Caesars. Shot in. Going to go wide of the net. Get played ahead by Hewer. Hewer tripped up on the play and gets sent wide where it's picked up by Caesars. Caesars gains the zone. Centering pass blocked by Bowman. Shot in off the post and to the corner. Played around by Caesars up to the half wall. This is going to be picked up by Martin behind the net. Now picked up by Dobbs. Dobbs trying to send it ahead. Martin sending it around the opposite way for Kazarowski. Kazarowski's going to chip ahead, and it's going to get cut up by Caesars. Played by Dobbs into the corner. Kazarowski picking it free. 3:57 on the clock. Sent ahead, and now it's going to be played out into neutral. Picked up by Dobbs and Markovich at neutral. Markovich is tripped up on the play, and Beltire's going to go on to a power play here. 3:36 remaining. All right. So Bell Tire going to go for another empty net. Dobbs, Markovich, Agbe, Clemens, and the Flanagans on ice. That puck is down and around. And Flanagan moving it across to Markovich. Markovich shot in. It's going to go wide of the net. Picked up by Caitlin. Sent down into the corner. Picked up by Agbe. And going to get covered up by Caesars. 3:19 on the clock. Puck is down, one back. Caitlin Flanagan. Flanagan turning at the point. Moving in. Going up top to McKenzie. McKenzie walking in. Finding Markovich. Back to McKenzie. McKenzie shot. Going to get blocked out front. Picked up by McKenzie. Going to send it around deep. It's going to be picked up by Markovich. Markovich sending it in. That's going to come clear, and that's going to get sent on net. Go down to make it 5. Lucci, Kazarowski, Hewer, Morton, Martin on ice. Morton sending it in. That's going to be an offsides call on Bell Tire. 2:47. And we're going to have Kazarowski with a shot on net. It's going to go wide. Be picked up by Palucci. Tap down for Martin. Martin's going to take a shot. Going to get blocked out into neutral. It's going to be picked up by Martin. Martin chipping it ahead. Going through. Kazarowski down into the corner. Picked up by Hewer. Hewer walking, sending it around to Palucci. Palucci walking in. Palucci up top. Palucci's shot goes wide of the net. This is going to be chased in a foot race with Martin. Martin's going to keep it ahead. Picked up by Kazarowski. Kazarowski sending it deep. 2 minutes remaining here in this game, and that's going to get sent off the glass. Blocked down by Martin. Picked up by Cruciano. Cruciano chipping it ahead. Chased down by Palucci. Picked up by Cruciano. Cruciano moving it ahead. Evans stepping in. Evans walking out. Evans drop pass to Flanagan, down to Evans. Evans sending it down behind the net. It's going to be picked up at the half wall by Caesars. Chased down by Palucci. And we're going to have a penalty on Bell Tire to put us into a penalty kill. All right, 1 minute, 30 seconds remaining here. Agbe, Dobbs on ice. Martin and Mackenzie Flanagan. Puck is down, picked up by McKenzie. Sent around, picked up by Agbe. Agbe coming up ice. Agbe chipping it into the Caesars zone. Going to be chased down by Caesars. Dobbs keeping pressure on. 1:13 on the clock. Picked up now by Caesars. They're going to circle in their own zone. Agbe is going to put on pressure. Martin's going to come out of the back and chase down. And that's going to be picked aside by Dobbs. Hewer stepping in on ice. And now Martin chasing down into the back. Hewer and Caesars circling their net. 40 seconds. Hewer stepping in. Hewer putting pressure on here. Now this is going to be stepped up by Martin. Martin coming down at the half wall. Caesars coming out into neutral. Chased down by Flanagan. And this is going to be picked aside by Hewer. Hewer's going to go off the wall. 15 seconds remaining here. This is going to be chased down by Martin. They're going to go up top, but Caesars is just going to put it in. And that's going to be the end of the game. Bell Tire having a tremendous season. Coming up short in this last game. All the hard work put in by these girls.